Hi everyone, it's Vivi Cameron here, and today I'm totally inspired by Mexican art. These bright colors and the music also, and all this just to share 6 ideas you don't want to miss using the new designer choice die of the month by Tonic Studios. So this is the die set. You won't receive it like this. This is a tester. You will receive it in proper packaging. But yes, this is the die set. It includes 14 individual dies, 4 rectangular intricate dies that will cut panels for cards, boxes, tags, scrapbooking pages, mini albums, any paper craft project you might have, and they also include a frame die to cut the whole panel if you needed to. This die set also includes 3 tags, 2 butterfly designs, and a corner die. So as you can see here, all these dies have different patterns, so you have more possibilities to die cut your panels. And another thing is that these dies, or the rectangular panel dies, do not cut the edges of the paper, so you will get an inlay die cut. I will explain you that better. I just grabbed one of the die sets I have here by Tonic Studios, and I found that if I die cut a panel using this die here that measures, this is an A2 rectangle, I will be able to cut a small card. So today I'm going to make cards. You can make cards in any size. And of course, if you like Christmas crackers, you can also use these panels to decorate your crackers or to make rectangular boxes. I'm not going to do that. I have done that several times. I wanted to do something different today. I was testing the water here, and the first thing I thought, just for exercising, it was like cutting a whole panel using any of these decorative dies. And I just grabbed this one here, and I die cut a piece of paper to the size, just because I like the edge when you die cut the paper and not when you use the trimmer. So I did that, and I just placed the die there, and I was praying that when I cut the panel, I will have enough space to place the die 4 times. And before running this through the machine again, I make sure there is not any small die cut over the paper, because it will create a mark when I run this through the machine again. Pay attention how I have the paper on the die cutting plate and how I'm placing this die on that die cutting plate. The longer side of the die do not go across the plate. You just need to make sure that the longer side of your die goes along with the longer side of your die cutting plate. And this will ease the die cutting process in some die cutting machines. Tangerine will do it anyway, but I still like to do it that way to make sure that I get the intricate detail cut in one go. So when I was finishing this here, I noticed that this might not fit perfectly there. I might not have an edge there. So I decided to use another die in the set just to cut that end there. And I thought, okay, that will leave me with a small rectangular part there to stamp a sentiment or to add a banner or to do something else. So this is just a sample of the things you can do using those rectangular dies. The next thing I wanted to do was cutting a tag. And to make a tag is the easiest thing in the world. You can do this using scissors and a trimmer, and this is the way I do it. And this is to show you an idea to partially die cut a panel as well. Any of these rectangular dies is about 4 inches long. So you can cut a variety of things there. And if you see there, this cut an inlay pattern as well. And these kind of patterns add a lot of texture to your project. And this make all the difference. It will never be the same a flat piece of paper that a die cut panel, just like this one here. And by just running this through the die cutting machine once, you just got that beautiful pattern or texture in that background. And remember not wasting your cardstock. And also that any die by Tonic Studios release the paper just like that. So you don't have to worry about how long it will take to take that paper out of the die. That was a worry from some years ago. It's not now. And after die cutting a couple of panels, they made me think about Mexican art. And Mexican art is all about bright colors, especially those you see there on the screen. So I die cut several pieces out of those cardstock colors, and off camera I start thinking how to put them together. So here I have the first card idea. And to make this, all you have to do is to add a back panel of this mustard cardstock and glue on top this pink die cut panel. You need two butterflies in yellow and blue. All you need to do is to overlap them, slightly offset, so you can see the yellow cardstock underneath that blue cardstock. Then I'm going to glue this in the center of that die cut pattern there. I also added this butterfly body from another die set I have, but you don't need to do that if you don't have it. You can add a banner and you can stop right there. But I decided to use this die set by Tonic Studios, and it's great because it has several dies to cut in one go several flowers. And I also use these other two dies from the kit 25 to cut some little flowers and to add some extra embellishments to this card. And I was desperately looking for a sentiment, and I have this idea that I really don't know where it comes from, but it comes from somewhere. And I just trim this banner here to just use the word with love. I think the circle die cut is beautiful, but it wasn't suitable for my design anyway, so I really needed something square, something rectangular to stick over my butterfly. But then I kind of decided to make something else, and I made this little tag here, and I really like the look and feel of that tag. And I say, okay, I'm going to add it to this project somehow, and I just glue it there. There is a dimensional pad behind that tag that is adhering the tag to the panel. And to finish this card, I just glue it on a card base. This card measures 4.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And I use these gold embellishments just to add a beautiful sparkling touch there. Any small flowers or leaves will make similar cards. And remember, you can create these in any color. Okay, the next card I want to share with you is this one here. We are going to use die cuts to create the effect of having an embossed background panel. And I'm going to do easy die cut layering. And I also wanted to apologize because my voice today is a little bit grunchy. I'm just recording from a cold that completely disabled me for a couple of days. You know, I don't like to complain, but the Scottish cold is really bad. Colombian cold is not that harsh. Actually, I don't remember being sick in my country, maybe a couple of times in a couple of years. But here, every winter. So anyway, so you might notice that this card looks very similar than the previous one, but I have used different elements and also a different way to use the elements. Because I'm using the same colors, it might look like I'm doing the same, but it's not. I really didn't want to think about colors, so I wanted to keep the same color palette for all my projects today. This time, to add a sparkle, I use gold Nuvo drops, and I also stick this on the card base like that. I wanted to show you that you can stop there. You don't need to do anything else. But if you want to step this design a little bit more, then you can do something super duper easy to create the effect that you have an embossed panel. And to do that, you can use any of the dies in this die set to die cut pieces of paper in the same cardstock color. So I was testing the waters there. What do you think? I could use the corner die there, or I can use the butterfly. And the butterfly won, so I'm going to use the butterflies. So there you go. This is another way in which you can use Designer's Choice Die Set of the Month by Tonic Studios. So we are going to move to another project. It needs this one here. Even easier. All we have to do is to die cut 3 butterflies from that panel. We keep all the die cuts. This is a 5 by 5 inches square panel, but you can do this in any size. You can also cut the paper in different ways. I just did it this way, and now I'm going to use this die here to create a pinhole pattern around the edges of this cardstock. This is a Tonic die. It's an old Tonic die set. I'm not sure if it's available on the Tonic shop, but you have it. I really like it. It's one of my favorites, just to add a little bit something to that background panel. The next thing you have to do is to choose a cardstock color for the background or to put behind that die cut panel. And I was looking here if blue or pink, and then I choose pink again. You can choose any of the colors you have in your color palette, but it's essential to have a color palette and to decide which colors you are going to use for your projects beforehand. So I'm just going to stick this on that panel, and the next I'm going to do is to layer butterflies in different colors from that color palette, and I'm going to adhere the body of the butterflies. I'm going to stamp a sentiment, and when the glue is dry, I try to move the paper a little bit to add dimension, and I glue this on a green panel. And then I just glue this on a card base. I add some embellishments, and the card is done. Okay, and another idea I have that becomes a card but initially was a tag is this one here. So all I did was also layering die cuts on this tag, and I decided to make it a card because it has so many things that I thought it could make a card topper. It was very easy to put all this together, and I just added a backing panel in one of the colors in the color combo I choose, and I just adhere this onto a card base. I also embellish this using Nuvo drops. Okay, for the next card, I use the dies in a creative way. So instead of using them for what they are supposed to be, I just create a different thing with them. So I just layer some of these die cuts like that, and I thought that this looks like a triangle, and a triangle could be always the roof of a house. And I start building up that house using different die cuts that I create using dies in this die set. To add a background to that house, I use a piece of cardstock that measures 4¼ by 5½ inches. I just place this die cut like so, and using a pencil, I just trace a line to guide myself and to cut that paper. So that's what I did, and I also die cut a kind of window in the center of this piece just to add a little bit of something. You don't need to do that. You can use a circle die or anything else. And once I have that done, I start gluing other pieces that might give even more sense to this idea. I also use this embossing folder here by Tonic Studios to add some texture to that card background. And I also added a yellow piece of cardstock behind that window in the house. To make this little flower, I use a little leaf. This is from the craft kit number 25, and I just glue the flower like so. And the night before, I just applied some of the Nuvo drops on my glass mat, and today they are dry, so I can apply them to my flowers. What I have to do is to cut a banner just to add a sentiment to this card, and I also need to layer some of this flower just to make a more balanced composition. I'm just adhering here this card topper to that panel using double-sided foam adhesive, and I just add this to a card base. So this is the card is done, also super easy, and I could not resist to add a butterfly, and to do that I'm also using double-sided foam just to add a little bit of dimension. However, these do not have a lot of dimension. It's not crazy dimension, it's just a little bit of something there just to make the project to look a little bit nicer. And the last project I have for you today is this card here, and for that one I use the panel I was die cutting at the beginning of the video, but I decided to die cut it again to get that butterfly die cut. So this is the die cutting of the die cut panel. A lot of die cutting there. I also stamped a sentiment on that strip of paper that is the only solid area of that panel, and then I glue this over a die cut panel in pink, and using the trimmer I just cut any excess of paper. I then add a piece of cardstock behind the window and I layer some butterflies in the front panel. I finish by adding a butterfly body, a green backing panel, and also Nuvo drops that I made, and they are already dry on my glass mat. That's all for today. I hope you find this video filled with tips for die cutting, creativity, and ideas. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel or visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!